Yo, shalom 2 times. All praise to the Most High Yahweh by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua. Fresh out of work, man. Say I gotta excuse me. Me to be rushing through this, but it's been on my heart. I want to get this out real quick. We're going through Halloween. This is the lesson on Halloween. Just a real quick one, man. Just give you a little background on it, history, etc. I got some notes. I was gonna read verbatim, but I'm gonna freestyle and try to get y'all up out of here real quick. You dig? So all praises. We're gonna move through the spirit. You dig? Check it out. So we got, of course, Halloween. There's some little history on it. Now, Halloween comes from the ancient Celtic festival called Samhain, which is a Celtic New Year, which symbolizes the end of the summer and the harvest season, and signals the beginning of winter, which they associated with death. Now, the Celts, what they did for their years, they split it in 2 halves. One half being a light year, which would be summer, and the other half would be the dark year, which they consider winter. And on October 31st, this day, they would consider it to be a special day because the veil, so to speak, would be the weakest through the year. We got shorter days and longer nights, more darkness, etc. So they would feel like it would be the weakest between the living and the dead, and they would try to summon spirits, talk to spirits, etc. Necromancy, things of that sort. It's all type of occultic practices, things like that. So by them believing that they could souls could cross over and they can talk to souls and things like that, they didn't want to be recognized by souls. So what they would do would dress up in disguises or costumes, put masks on, etc. Hence, that's what modern day America and society gets the dressing up for Halloween, putting on disguises, costumes, things like that, in hopes to, well, the Celtics hope to throw spirits off at that point in time. Now, a lot of people follow it and don't even know like the original reason why, but that's the reason. So then we got the Celtic priests or druids. They would tell people to go house to house, usually in groups, and gather food from one another. With that being said, too, they would the most common foods they would gather would be sweets or dainty foods, etc. Right? Most I told us, we gotta watch that. Don't take too much pleasure, and we're gonna get that in a second. But in hopes to appease, ghost spirits, fairies, elves, witches, all type of worldly shit. Excuse my language, creatures. Matter of fact, let's get a precept on that real quick. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 37 and verse 20. We'll start at 27. It says, my son, no, Salaki, we'll start at 28. For all things are not profitable for all men, neither have every soul pleasure in the everything. 29 being the point. Be not unsatiable, meaning just don't be unsatisfied in any dainty thing, nor greedy upon meats. For excess of meats, Salaki, that's all I wanted. 29 being the point, though. So we don't really want to go overboard with eating too many dainty foods. You see what I'm saying? Sweets, diabetes, etc. It's just not good for your high blood pressure, etc. So be mindful what y'all put in your body too. One of the beliefs that they had too, after gathering the foods for the ghosts, if they didn't treat the ghosts right, or the evil spirits or whatever, if they weren't appeased correctly, then the ghost or spirit will play a trick on this person or their family, or hurt them or harm them, etc. Hence, that's where you get the word trick or treat, right? On this night, a lot of occultic practices take part, divination, other ungodly things. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta watch that. A lot of stuff is going on this day, so don't take part in it, because that's, you're kind of giving the nod, like, hey, it's alright, like, I don't really mind. I'm just doing it for the kids. We just trying to let them dress up and let them get some candy, things of that sort, man. Look, you can do that any other time. Go buy them a bag of candy, man. Y'all have a good time in y'all house. Do what y'all do, but don't take part in this holiday, man. It was a very, very ungodly, man. The Most High, told us not to follow the heathen, right? In fact, let's get that real quick. Book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 1. And it reads, it's the book of Jeremiah 10, verse 1. Hear ye the word of the Lord. Slaki, hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen. We'll just stop right there. That's in the middle of verse 2. I stopped there for a reason. The point being, don't learn the ways of the heathen. It does go into something a little bit different as far as another pagan holiday, which it more so signifies Christmas in this verse. But nevertheless, the point being not to follow the ways of the heathen in other nations. So where do we get this from? This is a Celtic practice that Rome adopted as well when they merged it. So this doesn't come from us. So once again, we don't take part or follow the heathen. Oh yeah, so people sought out to going back to this the cult practices and divinations and things like this. People sought out to summon family members, ancestors, ghosts, other type of deities that was just ungodly. Have conversations with them, sit with them, talk to them, things of that nature. That's off, man. Also, traditions of this night, like for women, what they would do, they would sit themselves in a dark room, get a little candle, whatever. They would get in a mirror. They would do whatever they did in hopes of seeing the husband's face. It's like it would just breeze by. Just some old creepy, weird stuff. You know what I'm talking about? So, which that right there, you got to understand we can't do that. They're trying to summon things and get answers from on the left-hand side. We don't deal with that. So, yeah, that was one of their traditions, standing in a dark room in front of a mirror with a candle and see if they can expose themselves to their future husband. Not necessarily like expose like in a vulgar way, but be exposed to the face of their future husband. Let's see what the scripts say about that real quick. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy chapter 10. Slaki, the book of Deuteronomy 18. We're going to start at 10. Bear with me. Give me a sec, man. Alright. Let's run it. It's the book of Deuteronomy chapter 18 and... I'm sorry, 9. It says, when thou art come into the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of these nations. So once again, going on with Jeremiah 10:1, man, learn not the way of the heathen, man. We ain't supposed to be doing a lot of this, right? So, we got to refrain. It's too easy, man. Halloween, we ain't missing nothing, man. Believe me. Some old goofy shit. Verse 10, there shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that useth divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, a necromancy, a wizard. One thing that he knows clever things and clever ways to, get what he desires and show others, etc. Or a necromancer. For all that do so, Slaki, for all that do these things are an abomination unto the Lord. And because of these abominations, the Lord thy God doeth drive them out from before thee. Thou shalt be perfect with the Lord thy God, meaning keep the laws. This is against the law. This is the law. We find this word in the Torah, right? All right, cool. So that's what the Most High say about that. So all that, trying to summon things and shit, stuff like that, we can't deal with. Now touching on the pumpkins. It says, so the pumpkins come from the Celtics, thinking this would keep the spirits away. So they carved and cut pumpkins and turnips up, little funny faces, mean faces, scary faces in them. They would put a candle inside on, the belief that would keep them away. Also, some believe that this was to lead, like they would put it in kind of like a lamp, like a lantern, and just going by like to lead the spirits to their food, them sweets, etc. Right? And fast forward, and you got to think Rome. When Rome conquered the Celtic territory around 390 BC to 43 AD, they fused their cultures. Well, Roman fused their day with their culture, because Rome had a day as well that kind of mirrored Samhain or Halloween. And that day was called Ferilia, right? Ferilia. That's how you spell that. Feralia. Ferilia. Um, and this day they will worship the dead too, and it happened to be around the same, time, late October. Go figure. Um, Also, just a little history on that real quick. The word Halloween means the Eve of Hallows or Saints. This has to do with the Catholic Church originating around 609 A.D. They were the reason it got named that because it had something to do with a guy named Pope Boniface the Fourth, and pretty much he claimed this day as their own, things of that sort. They're really hype on this day, man. Just think about Edomites, man. They love this day. Coming around J2 now. You know what I'm saying? Fell in the ways of the heathen, but they love this day. They can be what they really, desire to be and not get, picked on, for lack of better words. Things like that. So yeah, the Roman Church did claim this day as their own to remember their church's martyrs. Just a person who died for religious beliefs. In the 9th century, Pope Gregory III decided this day of the so-called saints, hence the name Eve of Hallows. Hallows being saints, as we know, things are hallowed, they're sanctified, but that's off. Then this day was moved from May to November 1st, so it would be from the night of the 31st of October until the night of November 1st. The night became known as All Hallows Eve. Then fast forward, now we have what? Halloween. Samhain is connected to modern day Wicca as well. And it's an old English word for witch. This religion comes from Wales, Scotland, and Ireland. They will practice a lot of funny stuff in that territory, hence where the Celtics originated and got a lot of their base for this religion. A lot of Wiccans claim this day as their own as well, dealing in much evil, rituals, divinations, contacting the dead, etc. A bunch of wild stuff. Just know if we take part in this, man, we can't. You're just agreeing with the custom, saying it's okay. That's all. I don't want to make it too long, man. I don't want to, go into it too much. Just a quick, brief history of, man, what's going on. I gave you some days, some points where you can go look up certain things to see, check what I'm saying, fact check it, make sure it's true, do your own research as well. But yeah, man, last precept I want to pull. Yeah, so lucky, man. I appreciate y'all bearing with me, man. Got a lot going on. I'm trying to fit everything in today. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 22, and it reads, abstain from all appearances of evil. Simple. So you don't want to be where the evil is at or take part in this evil. Just keep yourself away. Simple, man. So don't be out here trick-or-treating, man. Don't be out here, dressing up, running around, door to door. Hey, what's up, blah, blah. I'm just this for the kids. It's this and this. Like, do what you got to do, man. Which is stay away from this day. It's not sanctified. It's not holy. It's not for us. So let's do what we got to do. Keep your head up. Keep it on the swivel. Let's get back to our Father, Israel. You see what I'm saying? Which our Father is the Most High. We can put some respect on His name, too. Hallowed be thy name. Don't just be saying the Most High's name just because, But with that, man, that's it, man. Short, sweet. We get right to it. That's it. I love y'all, family. All praise to the Most High. Yahweh by Hashem and Mashiach, Yahweh Shai, man. Y'all stay blessed, stay in the spirit. Shalom.